KILR KILR Games.
Hello gamers, simmers, and pilots. I am the Killer Gamer, and welcome back to the tour around the world, or bits and pieces of it, since we don't have complete scenery for the Amiga computer, the Amiga SubLogic Flight Simulator 2. Yes, that's what we're flying with. Pretty exciting, pretty retro. Let's go ahead and talk about where we are and where we're going. All right, so we are right here at Grand Rapids, Kent County International. Our next stop that we're going to be flying to is Kalamazoo. We're going to be going to WK Kellogg Regional. That is our next flight that we'll be doing. Let's go ahead and get this started. Well, let's tune into our nav, which is 109.0 for Kalamazoo. So our trip is going to be 44.9 miles. And we'll go ahead and get everything started here. Well, actually, let's take this runway here in front of us. Alrighty, sounds good. Actually, why don't you go ahead and send me that that tutorial on Instagram. Because I'll probably need it anyway. I tried to follow the instructions the best that I could. It seemed pretty self-explanatory, but it just froze X-Plane, unfortunately. Ah, okay. From Salt Lake to Belender. So you're both redeeming points, it looks like. Be sure to put that in the description of what you're redeeming so that I've got that. And you can always send me a reminder on Instagram or Twitter, you know, whichever one that you're got or hooked up with. Just got a notification on Instagram. I'm going to assume that was you, Arrow. I see a YouTube link. Yeah, that'll be good. YouTube links give me a visual, which is very helpful. Oh yeah, no problem. 20 minutes is not bad. It's when they start getting to be about an hour and an hour and a half. It's that get a little bit hard. Runway 8. 8 left. On there, OBS. Our heading is due south, 180 degrees. Wave goodbye to Grand Rapids, Michigan. All right. Adjusting our heading here. And we are on our way to Kalamazoo. We got a beautiful green forest down below. Landing gear up. That would help. Yeah. There you go, John. You own it. It's your world. You own it. Just don't do that on VATSIM. Unless Arrow is the controller. If he's the controller, then you can use your chalk blocks on the runway. He's like, bruh. All right, I'm going to get us leveled off here. $3,500 feet. No need to go any higher, not in this old simulator. Just in case you're wondering, yes, there is scenery. Just happens to be behind us. There will be scenery in this direction. is it? Okay, so some of you may know that I am working on building a retro gaming machine. Primarily it's for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2000, because I've not been able to find a satisfying alternative where you can use 3D acceleration and all add-ons work. So I've got a couple of old motherboards that I'm going to be restoring a couple of old computers. And one of my motherboards is old, where it has ISA slots, PCI, and an AGP slot. But on the back of it, I was not able to plug up my keyboard because it's a AT. it's an AT connection. I had to buy a AT to PS2 adapter. But I'll be able to, now that I've got the keyboard. Oh, do I have a PS2 mouse? I'll have to look and see. I have an adapter somewhere. The adapter might be in my box, I'm not sure. Alright, let me pull out my Amiga Flight Simulator 2 box here. Right here. I want to look up and see what the controls are for the elevator trim, because that's got me confused. I'm getting old. Okay, it's the parentheses. That's what it is. Oh, that's weird. So the left parentheses is nose up trim. The right parentheses is nose down trim. That wouldn't be my first guess. RPSimz. How old school is this? This is the Amiga Flight Simulator 2. Let me take a look at the copyright. Is it on the back of the box? I thought that said 1966. 1986. SubLogic. There we go. Yeah, so for my i7 computer, I've got to put one of these on it. And I really hate this thing because it's big. You have to clamp it in there with one of these things right here. And if I've got two fans attached to this, then it blocks one of my memory slots. But I think as long as I put one fan on the side, I don't think the other side will block the memory. Alright, we're on course, 180 degrees due south. Heading to Kalamazoo. Not much to see right now. But there is scenery. You can see it off to the right here. There is a road out there. I was midway through my teenage years. Okay, maybe a third of the way. About 14, 15. We got 22 miles to go here. Let's go ahead and pull up the map here and I'll see if I can zoom out. Well, doesn't look like it's going to zoom out. Now, I guess there's nothing to zoom out with. I was hoping to show the area that we're at. But that's Kalamazoo up there. We got a road heading off in that direction. That road would take us over into scenery disc number 11. Which eventually we will be getting to. (1986). Right after Back to the Future. If memory serves, Back to the Future came out in December of 1985. When did Roger Rabbit come out? Was that 1986 or 87? I can't remember. Roger Rabbit, man, he's my boy. I loved him. Roger Rabbit was a cross between Walt Disney and Looney Tunes. There was no other character like him. All right, up ahead is the Kalamazoo Airport. 14 miles away. We probably should start our descent now. We'll get the autopilot turned off. So for those of you joining us, I am the Killer Gamer. I do classic flight simulation here on the channel. I do some other stuff as well. But I've done the old Microsoft flight simulators, the Commodore 64, the Amiga, which is what you're seeing right here. I've also done classic X-Plane, ProPilot, SubLogic Flight. Not Microsoft Flight. SubLogic Flight. I also do the latest ones. P3D. X-Plane 11. And in about another month, we will be doing Flight Simulator 2020 as well. I also do some online flying with VATSIM. We're on VATSIM right now. No, just kidding. You could play multiplayer on the Amiga, though. You could do multiplayer. Better get some flaps down here. We're 8 miles from the airport. Roughly. We'll get our landing gear down as well. We'll try not to nose down into the ground. Need to do a quick check on the altitude. It's 872. It's really hard to determine how high up you are, so you're going to want to look up the altitude and then plan accordingly. Then, of course, there is the whole lining up, which, as you can see, is not really the easiest thing. When all you see is kind of like a blob of white and gray up there. Plan or pray accordingly. That is correct. I believe RJP has been with me when I've stalled and crashed right into the ground. Yeah, by the way, stalling in the old simulator is not recommended, which I'm about to do. Be sure to keep an eye on your airspeed. Yeah, if you stall on this, it's not forgiving. If you stall, it just translates to nose down, game over. Yeah, I think you're right. I think Flight Simulator 3 and 4 were a little bit more forgiving. 5 was definitely a little better. It doesn't look like we're close enough here to really see the runways. Oh, I'm getting lined up with something. I can see something on that map. Yeah, there is a runway that we're almost lined up with here. I know it's hard to see, but I think it's right here. This is a triangle airport. So it's got, you know, runways like this. And we're lining up with like the bottom part of the runway or the airport. I think. I think we're a little bit off here. Yep, I can see it a little bit more now. There's one here. There's another one right there. And then there's one going straight across there. So just adjust your eyes a little bit and you'll be able to see it. I'm not kidding about that, by the way. Try to look at it and try to focus it a little bit, and you'll be able to see it. Well, I'm definitely not going to want to drop any more flaps than what I have. Our airspeed is just below 60. Yeah, the flight models are generally pretty realistic. Not really. SubLogic was known mainly for their scenery database. We're a little too high up here. You got to remember, the altitude here is going to be 626. So we're at 1,000 feet here. I see something red up ahead. Ah, that's the Vasi lights. Oh, wait a minute. This may not be Kalamazoo. No, it has to be Kalamazoo. Okay, well, we landed before the runway. $872. Darn it! Not 672. Learn to read, Killer Gamer. Okay, there's a fuel box somewhere up ahead. There it is. See, that's kind of our thing. We go and taxi over to the fuel box. That's something that I loved doing back in the day. You know, there's nothing quite satisfying as doing a flight and going to the fuel box to refill your plane. And this is why I have a habit of filling my airplane all the way in later simulators, which, yep, I know you're not supposed to do that. Especially with jetliners. You should be calculating how much fuel you need and then putting in a reserve. Yeah, well, can't really do that here. Sometimes old habits die hard. I sometimes refer to this white box as the soap box. So see, when we refuel our plane, we can just jump on top of the box, and that'll be our soap box. Apparently I'm not braking here. There we go. So here we are at Kalamazoo. Kalamazoo County. That's such a cool name. Battle Creek International. KAZO. Thank you so much for joining me on this flight. I appreciate it. If you enjoyed the video, enjoying the series, please click that like button. Share the video with your friends and on social media. Leave some comments. Let me know what you think. Let me know about your experiences with the Amiga or just Flight Simulator. Really appreciate it. It all helps out the video and the channel. Helps us grow here, and that's the goal. We want to get bigger. We want the KILR community to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And speaking of the community, subscribe and ring that notification bell so that way you get notified of future flight simulation content, and that makes you officially part of the community. Hey, great thing, right? Doesn't cost anything. And then over on Twitch, I do live streams, as you may have already noticed. When I'm recording these episodes, I'll live stream them. Not all the time, but a lot of times I do the live stream, so that way it gives you all a chance to be part of the show. You get to see these weeks, months ahead of time, and you get to see it raw and uncut. What I do is I clean these up a little bit, so that way they can be aired here on YouTube. And then over on Instagram, I take pictures and photos of projects that I'm working on behind the scenes, let you know what it is that I'm up to. Twitter for official KILR news and announcements, retweets of things that I think you might find interesting. Snapchat, whenever I decide to take a picture and do something weird with it. And then Patreon for those of you who would like to support the KILR cause. The KILR cause of KILR TV. Help me make this channel grow. I can't do it by myself. So, as many of you as you can, please head on over there to Patreon. I appreciate any support that you can lend, and in return I've got bonuses and rewards just for you, just waiting over there. So please check that out. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it, and I will see you on the next leg of our exciting journey. Have a killer awesome day.